Well, Russian media is claiming one pilot was rescued by the Syrian army, though there is still no official confirmation of that. According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, the other pilot was killed, presumably in the air. A rebel group backed by Turkey released a video allegedly boasting to have killed the serviceman and showed his body. RT's William Whiteman has more.
US President Barack Obama has described rebels fighting in the north of Syria as moderate opposition. Here we can see shocking footage of rebel fighters reportedly machine gunning 2 Russian pilots attempting to parachute to safety. The pilots had just bailed out of their Sukhoi Su-24 fighter bomber, which was shot down by Turkish Air Force near the Syria-Turkey border.
Our comrades opened fire into the air. We all did. The pilots died in the air. Our fighters will bring the bodies here.
The gunmen engaging in this brutal act are from a rebel ethnic Turkmen group. Here we can apparently see this same group celebrating over the lifeless remains of one of the airmen. Let's find out a little bit more about these guys.
From the way they look, from the terms they were using as well, you know, these jihadist terms which are usually used by Al-Qaeda or its affiliates, we can safely assume that it's, you know, one of the extremist groups who share the same takfiri ideology as ISIS and as, and like Jabhat al-Nusra.
These Turkmen rebels have reportedly been enlisted by Ankara to patrol the buffer zone Turkey has been hoping to establish in northern Syria. They are also documented as being sometime allies of so-called moderate rebel group, the Free Syrian Army. Is NATO prepared to stand by as its partner Turkey shoots down aircraft carrying out anti-terror operations? And will they also remain silent over Ankara's backing of yet another violent rebel group as it perpetrates war crimes such as this? Well, that remains to be seen.
Well, following the downing of the Russian jet, Washington has stressed Turkey's right to defend itself. That same right for self-defense was even brought up by the US State Department while talking about Turkmen rebels firing at the Russian pilots after they ejected from the plane. RT's Gaia Chichikan has more for us.
The State Department says it doesn't know the details of what happened, but at the same time, it's already making subtle excuses for Turkey, like saying Turkey has the right to defend itself. Of course it does, but was there any indication that Russia was going to attack Turkey? Anybody would tell you no. Even if you believe the Turkish version of what happened, the Russian plane, according to Turkey, has gone into the Turkish airspace for 17 seconds, apparently so close to the border that the Russian pilots in parachutes landed in Syria. They reportedly landed dead. Turkmen militia, which is a rebel group in Syria, claimed responsibility for killing the pilots in the air as they were parachuting down, basically executing them. Turkey supports these Turkmen rebels in Syria. Here's what the State Department said about the rebels and their admitted killing of the Russian pilots.
If these Turkmen were actually being attacked by these Russian strikes, they have every right to defend themselves.
That right applies to everyone, does it not? Not just to the rebels who are supported by the West.
I'm not going to, where are you going with this?
Do you think that everybody has the right to defend themselves?
Well, we've said very clearly that people have the right to defend themselves. Including the Assad regime? No.
No, they don't have the right to defend themselves.
No, look, there's a clear no, but I'm not going to accept your premise that I'm somehow giving.
Okay, well, you were the one that raised it.
Assad the right, what Assad wait, no. Now that you've raised it, Assad's regime is doing is hardly self-defense.
What I heard at the State Department was a response riddled with double standards and designed to shield its ally Turkey.
So the shooting of the Russian pilots has clearly left the US State Department cold. That despite the pilots coming under the protection of the Geneva Convention, of which America is a signatory. According to Article 42 of the Convention, no person ejecting from a plane in distress should come under attack while descending. Joe Kishore from the American Socialist Equality Party believes Turkey couldn't have shot down that Russian jet without prior approval from Washington.
Turkey has its particular interest in Syria and has a de facto alliance with ISIL. Turkey has been a central force in backing the anti-Assad forces in Syria, many of which, of course, are Islamic fundamentalist organizations. I think, though, that while the question of Turkish interests are significant, the real issue here is the United States. I mean, I think it has to be said up front that this action could not have been taken without the prior approval of the Obama administration. It would not have been taken. It is clear that the United States is preparing to escalate the situation in Syria dramatically. It's seeking to send a shot across the bow against Russia, making clear that the U.S. is prepared to defend its interests in Syria by very provocatively and aggressively escalating the situation there.
More developments in the Russian anti-terror campaign in Syria after this short break. Stay with us.